Nexxlegacy.
Fenty Beauty by Rihanna was created with the promise of inclusion for everyone, with an unmatched offering of shades and colors for all skin tones. You'll never look elsewhere for your beauty staples. Danaya Azure Radio is now sponsored by Fenty Beauty. Browse their foundation line, lip colors, and so much more. All you have to do is go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. And click on the link that says Nexxlegacy Fenty.
Nexxlegacy.
Okay, so we are here at Black Friday versus the phenomenal Dr. Farrah Gray is in the building. Hello, welcome.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Chicago?
So how did you became a millionaire at 14 years old. What was your secret for that?
It was really about identifying why God put me here. I think the two most important times in anybody's life is when we were born and when we find out why we were born. Because by God's grace, I was able to find that at an early age.
So
I also want to give a shout out to my brother.
Yes, hello.
Yes. Who made sure I was here in the building and sponsored everything.
What is one of the obstacles that you had to overcome?
Oh my God. I think what I do now is easy. It was believing that I could do it was the hard part, right? So it's getting over the self-esteem and, of course, institutionalized racism. You know, we have to work overtime, double time, triple time, and we saw that with the Queen, Kamala Harris. Overqualified, yet she still didn't make it over to an underqualified individual, Donald J. Trump.
Absolutely. What is one piece of advice you can give to young people right now?
Always remember to put God first and let your haters be your motivator.
When everything is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
I believe I'm here to grow and to contribute, and I believe each one reach one, each one teach one. We have a responsibility to do so. My success is nothing without giving back to our people.
Where can everybody find you, follow you, and most importantly, book you?
Farrah Gray on all platforms, everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I'm there. And I'll see you there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all. My name is Sierra Thurman. I am your favorite real estate agent and investor, and I'm excited for our second panel, which is our generational wealth panel. All right? So I'm going to give you a little bit of information about each of our speakers, and then we're going to kick things off. We're going to start with you, Dr. Farrah Gray. Yeah. Dr. Farrah Gray, he grew up in the impoverished south side of Chicago and defied the odds. He had an office on Wall Street by the age of 13, became a millionaire at 14, became Dr. Farrah Gray at the age of 21, and retired at the age of 30. All right? Now at 40, he has become a global influencer with over 6 million followers. And Oprah Winfrey herself dubbed Dr. Farrah Gray an all-star with priceless advice. Now y'all know if Oprah said so, we happen to be in the building, right? Okay. Now we're gonna kick it off to you, Larry. Larry's at the end right here. Larry Jones is a leading voice in investment education, focusing on generational wealth and making investing relatable for everyone. He launched his YouTube channel in August of 2020 during the pandemic to share financial knowledge, which has since grown to rank in the top 1% of all YouTube channels. Boasting over 650,000 subscribers, Larry travels the country to speak at conferences and events and has been featured in Forbes, spoke at NASDAQ headquarters, and was nominated for Stock Market Educator of the Year in 2024. All right, y'all? Yes. Ms. Melanie Winston, As senior executive of Living Fresh Market in Forest Park, Illinois, Melody leads the nation's largest Black-owned full-scale supermarket, supporting vendors of color and bringing in their products to the market. She also serves as the executive director of corporate property assets of Living Word Christian Center. Yes, managing its multi-million-dollar portfolio as the director of real estate and construction for both the center and its properties in Alabama. Melody began her career as a realtor with a prestigious Chicago firm, achieving significant success, and has paved the way for her extensive career in real estate and property management. And last but not least, Ms. Ebony Lucas. Ebony founded her law firm in 2008, specializing in real estate legal services, and purchased her first investment property at the same year. Since then, she has acquired and renovated over 150 properties. Yes. Owning residential, commercial retail, short-term rentals, and student housing in Chicago, New Orleans, and Florida. Along with her husband, she operates House of Alpha Yacht Charter in Chicago, and through her company, Self-Care Millionaire, Ebony coaches investors and small business owners on business formation, financing, and money mindset.
That's my
Yes, yes. So we're gonna kick it off. Let's start off, you all, with this first question. We already kind of know what you do a little bit, so if you want to just share, if I missed something, you can jump in. But how do you help people build generational wealth?
All right, greetings everybody. First and foremost, giving honor to God and His manifest glory in my life and in yours.
Amen.
We didn't wake ourselves up this morning, God woke us up this morning. There are friends and family members who are not here today, but those of you that are the chosen ones. You know, you're here for a purpose and a season. It is definitely your season. A lot of people, unfortunately, have written us off as a people. They say, you know, obviously our buying power is $1.7 trillion, which would make us, well, roughly the 12th richest nation in the world based on our GDP. However, they say that we are the #1 consumers. But those of us here today, as it says that Jesus was only able to turn the world around, you know, with just 12, that's all he needed. So those of us here, I believe, are the change makers. So give yourselves a hand for showing up here today. One of the ways that I give back, I believe that we should all give back. We should all be ashamed to die unless we've made a contribution to society. So we, Stokely Carmichael said it best. Many of you know him, Stokely Carmichael, Black Panther icon, may his soul rest in peace. He said that all of us that are here today are the reason why we're here and are able to enjoy this success. We may not have generational wealth, but we have generational brilliance, generational excellence, generational kings and queens within us. So it's because of the bloodshed of our ancestors. So the way that I give back through my foundation, which teaches Black youth entrepreneurship, leadership, personal development. That way we have the education to pass on that generational wealth.
All right, and what about you, Ebony? How has it helped you build generational wealth? What do you do and how has it helped you build your generational wealth?
So I am, as Sierra mentioned, a real estate investor and a real estate attorney. And I learned very early in investing in real estate that it was an opportunity for me as an entrepreneur to create. Initially, it started out as a plan for my children to go to college. I said, okay, well, I don't really have a 529 plan and all these other traditional, I don't have a 401k. How can I figure out how my kids are going to go to college? And so I said, okay, I'm going to buy a building for every kid, and then that money from that building will help to pay their tuition. And then that grew from a building for every kid to really being my retirement plan and understanding that real estate builds equity, but also because I buy and hold and I collect rent every month, it's additional income so that when I decide to retire, that is money that will carry me forward and my family forward. And fast forward now, 16 years later, and I've built a real estate portfolio, I understand that teaching other people now, because I can't buy everything. And when I walk in the room at many of the real estate conferences I go to, I'm the only Black person, a lot of times the only woman. So I want to bring everybody with me when I go. So I try to tell as many people as possible about how to invest in real estate, about how to use real estate as a mechanism to build wealth. But once we build that wealth, the other thing that I do is I help people to learn how to preserve it, and we preserve it through estate planning. So estate planning is a big part of what I do, because you have to have a plan in place to pass it down. Now that we're seeing a lot of the baby boomers getting older, we're seeing properties passed down in families, and families just losing that wealth because they have no idea what to do with these properties. So teaching people to plan, creating those plans for people is how I have built wealth for myself, my family, and how I help others to build wealth.
That the two speakers just spoke on a few things. One was making a plan to pass it down to the next generations, from buying the real estate to not only handing down knowledge, experience that you've learned throughout your life. How do I do it? In the grocery industry, I jumped in because I saw, one, we were underrepresented as a community. I saw Walmart's pulling out of our communities because the bottom line didn't add up for them, so they say. And then I started digging. Then I started traveling to different states, doing investigative work on why this is happening. It's happening because we're not in there. We're not representing. We don't care enough to jump in and take some risk and learn the business. So that's what I decided to do. Now we are looking to help our communities find their way, their path to make a product that can make itself to a shelf. Now you create generational wealth. Those biscuits that your great-grandmama used to make, she taught you how to make in the kitchen. Trademark that, get it out on the shelf. You've created an industry that's all your own. You maximize it. You hand it down to your kids' kids. And that is a way that I have started to do this generational wealth, passing it down to the next generation.
In 2020, my wife and I both lost our jobs to COVID. A rock can't fall from the ground. In 2020, I took my stimulus check and invested it, mine and hers. And in 3 months, I turned $2,400 into $53,000 in the stock market. Today, that green number, how much am I up today in my crypto account? That's the green number, just today.
It's 20,000 up today.
So I'm $20,000 richer in one of my accounts today than I was yesterday, and I didn't put another dime in it. I come here to tell you that every single one of you have the power to create wealth, but you must first understand that we all have a dysfunctional relationship with finance. And I hope that we'll be able to dig down a little deeper on some crucial things that we all must do, everyone can do, starting now, to actually start creating generational wealth. I'm working on my grandkids now. Every single one of you, I come from the west side of Chicago. I didn't go to a prestigious university. I went to DeVry Institute of Technology, okay? In high school, I flunked math, had to take it over. I'm from the dirt. But I'm here to help you guys see that everyone in this room has the power to create generational wealth.
Yes, yes. So I don't know about y'all, but I like actionable steps, actionable takeaways, right? So we hear about the great success that our speakers have, but you all want to know, what can I do right now today so I can get started, right? So let's kick that off. Let's have that conversation. What can our audience members do right now today Literally walking out of here, Washington Cultural Center to get started. Let's get it.
Test, everyone. First thing everybody needs to do is to realize that you have a dysfunctional relationship with wealth, number one. Number two, I'm challenging every single one of you starting today to start a side hustle. And what I want you to do is your jobs, just like the earlier speaker said, all of us, we get a raise, we raise how much we spend in rent, how much Starbucks we're consuming, so we consume. Create a side hustle and invest every dime of it, like I did in 2018, driving Uber and investing every single dime. Do it for a year and it will change your life. Number two, set it and forget it. You cannot save your way out of being broke. You can't save your way to being financially wealthy. Set it and forget it. My apps, my brokers are buying my stock every week. It's pulling money from my account on automatic. Set it and forget it. And we'll come back with more.
I could say right now, one action item is to look at your finances. Pull that printout out and go through your expenses and start crossing things out. Start reducing your debt in your house. All these apps coming off your phone, you don't even know what you got on there. What is it pulling out? Why are you using it? You don't need it. Start taking away the things that that are really not necessary today, so that you can create those opportunities to invest in a stock, to start investing in crypto, to start putting monies away for your children's education. My great-grandmother, when she passed, I didn't find out until after she passed, she had left money for my college education. Didn't know. She was born in the 1800s. But that was her mentality back then, to put away something for her great-grandchildren. That's wealth building. That was what it meant to them at that time. Leaving land and money, because that was the only thing that was tangible that they could hold on to. They didn't have credit cards, they didn't have stock. So right now, let's start making a way. Reduce the debt in your house. You don't need that $300 cable bill coming in every month because you want access to Netflix, this, that, and the other. Start bringing those things down. It's not necessary. Just because we're in 2024 doesn't mean you need it right now.
Yes, I know that's right.
Let's live greater later.
Yes. All right, Dr. Farrah Gray.
I'm a strong believer that if you drive a Land Rover, a Land Cruiser, and have a landlord, something's wrong. Too many of our people.
Wait. We gotta run that back. Wait, say it one more time now.
If you drive a Land Rover, a Land Cruiser, and have a landlord, something's wrong. And I'm gonna take it a step further. We do have a horrible relationship based on post-traumatic slavery syndrome of believing that we need things to create value within ourselves. So we'll go buy the designers. Many of you are wearing Christian Dior and sleeping on D floor. Hello. Many of you don't have your credit together. We got Mr. 850 in the building of the 850 family. Shout out to my brother who made sure I came back, because I grew up in the Robert Taylor Projects. And according to statistics, I'm supposed to either be in prison or dead. But I had inspirational figures. Shout out to my father, the Honorable Khalid Abdul Muhammad. May his soul rest in peace. My mother, they didn't have financial means, but they taught me the importance of money. Then I've had the importance of realizing mentors and people in my life. So one of the things that I've done to create generational wealth for my children's children's children, generations yet unborn, is real estate. One of my mentors is in the building. The Honorable Ronald Branch is in the building. Let's give him a hand, of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. My big sister, Dr. Lynn Richardson, who you heard from earlier today. And one of the things that we have to do is look at real estate, because it is never the real estate, it is only a state of your reality. There are two things that God's not going to do. He can't add any more water and he can't add any more land. So if you don't have real estate to pass on to your children's children's children, I bought up the hood. I have over 90 properties in inner city communities. I got renters. I used that particular real estate and equity to buy more properties so I could pass on real estate as well as I end. You guys got to be understanding. I'll be brief, which is an acronym for be ready, I'll eventually finish. Because I grew up in the church, and that was the first place I ever heard a lie. The pastor got up one Sunday morning and said, well, I won't be long. So I got at church 2 Sundays later. So real estate as well as insurance policies that we have also in a trust, and we need to create a series LLC so all of our assets are protected.
Absolutely. Ms. Evans.
Which she can speak to that.
Yes. I would say, number one, believe you can do it. One of the things that I realized in the very beginning of being an entrepreneur was that I was my own worst enemy. And if I doubted me, then the world would doubt me. And so I would just get up in the morning and remind myself, like, okay, I'm the only one I'm competing against today. And you have to start with believing you can do it. I had a conversation with a friend who told me, I'll never be a millionaire. And if you say that, then you will never be a millionaire.
Come on.
But the second thing that I think is super important is ask for help. So at the point when you realize you can do it, and Dr. Farrah said, get a mentor. Ask people, don't be afraid. I'm where I am, not because I'm the smartest person in the room, but because I ask questions. I ask you how you do it, where you got it from, where did you, and I ask a million questions. My husband will tell you I ask way too many questions. But when I walk away, I know, and I'm gonna tell you something because my nephew is here today, and my nephew is 15 years old. And I learned a lot about the stock market, but I was afraid to invest in the stock market. And my nephew actually was talking to somebody and asked her, how much money do you make? And this lady said, well, last year I made $5 million. She's a black woman. I sat up. Now I'm ear hustling the conversation. I'm a little embarrassed that he's asking somebody how much money they make. But a child is not afraid to ask questions. And so that same lady that he talked to became my mentor. And I'm making, like Larry is making, all types of money in the stock market, doing nothing. I'm not trading, I'm not looking at it, we're investing and putting it there and moving the market. And people are like, oh, that's risky. But let me tell you something about the stock market. Your 401k is in the stock market. If you have life insurance, your life insurance is in the stock market. Everything that you have in this whole economy is centered around the stock market. So you have to invest there and you have to know. But how do you know? You ask questions. And in our community, sometimes we're too embarrassed to ask questions. Don't be embarrassed to ask questions. Don't be embarrassed to ask somebody how much money they made and how they got there. Because like Larry just showed you just now, and I'll show you, other people will show you. And that's why we're here today. I think Larry's
all right, so Larry, we actually coming to you next.
All righty, I'm ready.
How can families get started with stock investing to build wealth for future generations?
Thank you.
And what are some common pitfalls that they should avoid?
All right, here's the common pitfalls, all right? These shoes I got from K&G, right? This shirt, I got this jacket, I got Ross or something like that. I'm telling you guys that I just turned down a $450,000 deal yesterday that was gonna pay out by the end of this year. I'm telling you guys that my tax bill yesterday was $785,000, okay? I'm telling you guys that if I have a month that I don't clear, $300,000 is a bad month. But I'm telling you guys, the more money I make, the less I have to spend, because I understand that I had a bad relationship. So, like she said, you say the stock market is risky. Walking out of your house is risky. Going somewhere to eat is risky. Drinking Starbucks is risky. But what you have to understand is the 5% that control and own the stores, the high dollar purses, the goods and services that we consume, they depend on the 95% of sheep. So now what I did is I decided to get on the other side of the equation and be the 5%. Think like the 5% and act like the 5%. You go to Starbucks, buy Starbucks stock. You got Nikes, buy Nike stock. You know what stock I got? Ulta. I don't shop at Ulta, but I do know that women do, and every time I go in there, it's you understand what I'm saying? Start buying. In most cases, a share of the stock costs less than the product itself. And so my rule is I will make, so if you see me driving a Tesla paid for it. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
So I have a whip outside, but the vehicle manufacturer paid for it. Larry ain't paying for it. When I go to Walgreens, I'm not paying for that. Walgreens is paying for it. That's how the 5% thinks.
Yes, that's great. All right, Ms. Melody. Speaking of our family businesses, for our audience members, what are some best practices for establishing and maintaining a family business?
I think creating your team. What I did, and what helps me a lot, is I created a steering committee. That steering committee requires that I've got about 7 to 10 people. We meet weekly, an hour, 2 hours a week. And we talk about what just happened last week in the business. Some of it might be retail related. Some of it might be HR, people related. Some of it might be product, might be marketing, accounting. So each person on that steering committee has a different function. So Ernest Baker is our accounting director. He comes in, he runs the numbers. I'm not that great in accounting. I can do the regular stuff, but I need him to get down and drill down and find out, how are we being profitable? What's taking us in a wrong direction before it hurts us? So creating a team, a steering committee of people who can help you. When I refer to creating a product, those biscuits that your great-grandmother taught you how to make, steering committee, who's the baker? Who's the marketer? Who's going to get outside and talk to people about the product? Who's going to help you with equipment and controlling cost? Those type of things, just bringing it down to a level that you can understand and make sense of it and activate. So those are some of the things that I do when I try to maintain a business. I create a steering committee around those things that I'm really passionate about working towards and building. Whether it's in real estate, the same way. I manage 2 shopping centers, one in Tuskegee, Alabama, and one in Forest Park Plaza. We've got 33 acres, Patillos, Taco Bell. Those are all my clients, my tenants. And steering committees, we talk. We talk about what makes them happy. We talk about the value of the property, making sure it looks good. I don't want people to walk onto the property and say, oh, this must be owned by some black folks. The comparison starts right away. The experience is important to the customer. I don't care who they are, where they came from, what neighborhood they came from, but I want it to be safe, look great, make sure we have input from the community on what kind of stores they want to see in their plaza. That's important. Those relationships with the community and the mayor.
Absolutely.
Those things count. So that's kind of some of the things that I do.
All right, Ebony, let's jump to estate planning. Estate planning. What is estate planning and how can it help families?
So estate planning is often seen as something that's for rich people, but it's not. If you own a home, if you have a bank account, if you have a business, you need a plan because you can walk outside tomorrow and get hit by a car. And maybe you don't die, but maybe you're just incapacitated. If there's no plan, that's how things are lost. And you wouldn't believe how many people have lost their businesses because they were ill and couldn't run it. So what Melody said about having a team and making sure that you have the right people around you. A lot of people say, I don't want to talk to people about my ideas. Well, if you don't have anybody to talk to, you have a problem. So estate planning is who do you talk to if something happens? And the important thing about estate planning, because it used to be, back in the old days, we did a will. If you have a will, you need a trust. A will is an instruction to a court. So if you have a will, you're sending your family to court. And just be clear about that and know that. An estate plan is a trust, that directs your family about where you want your assets to go, big or small. And the thing that helps is that, we've all had people die and there've been a big fight in your family and a big rift. An estate plan helps to prevent some of that, but most importantly, it helps you to prevent losing wealth. If you wouldn't believe how many people I've had from the pandemic moving forward of people who were not expected to die, but they owned some asset, a house, a building, and they didn't have an estate plan in place. And now you have people that have been divorced and remarried. You have all types of different things situations that result in basically the family being forced to sell the asset that maybe they could have kept, or just losing it altogether. The other thing, especially if you have blended families. I'm in a blended family. My husband had children before we were married. I had a child before we were married. Now we have a child together. Situations like that where you can accidentally disinherit your own children by not having an estate plan in place.
Yes.
So understanding that planning, and I think I said this earlier, but a failure to plan is a plan to fail. So making sure that there's something in place for your family if something happens to you.
Absolutely. Give it up for that. Yes, y'all. Next up, Dr. Farrah Gray. You became a millionaire at 14, so you were very young. For those young people out here, can you give them some advice about how to get started in business at their young age?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing we have to look at is that who we give our dollars to is who we give our power to. And if we don't recycle black dollars, we end up, again, being fuel for the economy. So what I encourage young people to do who started off like I started off. My first business, I used to knock on doors on the south side of Chicago, and I had these little rocks I used to paint. I would knock on the door. I said, would you like to buy this? And people would look at me like, isn't that the rock that was in front of my door? I was like, yeah, but see, it's different now. You can use it as bookends, paperweights, door stoppers. I created a lotion company. And then I realized collective work and responsibility, and that was the key. We have to work together, and I think that's the key, finding young people like my goddaughter, Dr., and I say it again, Dr. Jimalita, Dr. Dorothy Genius, the daughter of Jimalita Tillman. She's 17 years old, y'all. Yes, youngest environmental scientist. She's in the building somewhere, and I want to thank Jimalita for also being a part of this event. But one of the things that we, as young people, have to do, as young people, we see limitless opportunities. So entrepreneurship is the key, and starting off small. According to Forbes, the fastest growing small business in the world is happening on the internet. We're not as divided as we are disconnected, so young people starting businesses, looking at investing, developing products that can go into her stores, learning and investing right from your phone, as brother just mentioned, making sure you bring on the right team and experts to pass on that generational wealth. So I think that is the key in order to be successful, is starting small, as they say, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. You don't have to have something that the world depends on in order to be successful. Start small, start on the internet, and start right where you are, as I did, and continue to believe in yourself when nobody else will.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up, again, I'm all about those actionable takeaways. Oftentimes when we talk about money, that can be taboo in some households. People don't like to talk about money, right? But why is it important for us to talk about money with our families especially? Let's wrap it on up with that last question.
I get DM'd by rappers, actors, some of the biggest music acts on the planet all of the time, every single day. Tyrese, you name it, I'm DM'd. Everybody likes to make money. When I'm at the table with, I'm being flown to Dubai to talk to billionaires. That's all they do is talk about money. But they tell you shouldn't talk about money. Talk about money all the time. Talk about money with your kids, your neighbors, your nephews. I'm telling you guys, we've been fed a lie, right? They let the credit card companies come and at the college campuses and they go rampage, right? They run rampant. The average American will retire with a 401k, $271,000. But did you know that you can invest $10 a day for that same time period and retire with 1.5 million? And I show people stock up with Larry Jones every day for free on YouTube. For free. I'm showing people for free. Anybody follow me out here? There you go, brother. You follow me out here? Am I speaking facts? Yeah. All right. Are you making money? Have I ever charged you a dime? There you go.
Yes,
the information.
Yes.
Be on a search. This is your takeaway. Be on a search for information.
Yes.
Understand that you've been lied to and no one's coming to save you but you. Invest 10% of everything you make. Give God his first. And then the next 10%, you pay yourself first. You will be a millionaire. Send your money to work. If your money is not working for you every day, then you will work for money every day.
There you go. All right, Miss Melody, your quick takeaway for why it's important for families to talk about wealth?
I think that, we as a family, when we get in our houses, that's just one conversation we just don't have about money. How are you managing your money? My great-grandmother used to ask me, how are your grades? As soon as I walked into her house. How's your money? I ask my son all the time. He's married now and living in Vegas and holding on to every dollar, working for a big corporation that imports, exports goods to China. But I look at him and how he conserves, resources. And he has a plan, just being, he's just 34 years old, but he has a plan for his life and his wife. So let's plan our lives out. Let's talk about money in our houses. Instead of saying, well, we should say how your grades, but how's your money?
I know that's right.
That's our takeaway for today.
Ebony?
Well, I talked about estate planning, so, talking about money is important because it's how we preserve it. And in America, the number one source of stress is money. And it's because we're afraid to talk about it. We're afraid to use it. We're afraid to make it. We're afraid to save it. We're afraid to spend it. We're afraid of every aspect of money. So if we don't talk about it with our family, the people who we're most intimate with, then we live in fear. So I think it's important to start talking about money with your family because it helps you to release that fear. It helps you to put it out into the universe. It helps you to talk about your dreams. It helps you to get support for what you want to do. It helps you to plan for the future. And it helps you to be healthier, to feel better, to wake up in the morning feeling good about what you do when you've had a conversation and been able to know that what you do is positive, is helping other people, and is creating wealth for yourself and for your family.
Yes. Dr. Farrah.
I'm so grateful and thankful to my mom. Growing up in the Robert Taylor Projects, my mom made sure that regardless whether I liked it or not, that there was the Wall Street Journal in the house. There was Investors Business Daily in the house. I had to read Black Enterprise. And the important thing about that is we in Chicago, home for me as well, it's the only city in America, it seems like, where the cost of living is going up and the chances of us living is going down. So I think it's important to feed into our children, right, the education that they need in order to start their own business, the education and the exposure, because we only grow up to be what we can see. So it's important for us. Well, let me ask this. How many of you believe that you're out-of-the-box thinkers? Let me see your hands. Okay, put your hands down. Well, first of all, you had to think that you were in a box in order to think outside the box. So let's always throw that box away. I've been able to gross now over $70 million being someone who was voted least likely to succeed, but diversifying my businesses. I have an academy for free that teaches Black youth how to start small businesses, how to put their money together. There are properties in Cleveland, Ohio, Jacksonville, Florida, different parts of Illinois that are maybe run down, and even in Detroit, that people are getting from $1 to $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000, and it's giving them leverage. But we need to pull our resources. I have young people come together and they put their money into a fund which allows them to buy real estate. And I think that's going to be critical. And also we bring in experts to teach them about the stock market. So in order to grow, we've got to have entrepreneurship, because a job was not created to make us wealthy, and a job and what we learn in school teaches us to work for someone else and get a job, a just over broke position. So that would be my recommendation in educating our generation, the next generation, generations yet unborn, because where there is no vision, the people perish. As I like to say, where there's no vision, the people go buck wild.
Yes, yes, yes. And as we wrap up, I know you all haven't heard too much from me, but as a real estate agent and an investor, I pretty much teach everyday regular people how to purchase 10 doors in 4 years' time using other people's money. And we're gonna talk more about it, but before we go, I wanna bring Ms. Natasha Robinson back to the stage.
Thank you. Are you guys enjoying yourselves? Yeah. We listening and we having fun. Party on the stage and everything. I want to thank you guys so much for speaking today and sharing all this great information. Just so you guys know, Building Dreams Foundation, as I mentioned earlier, we are building dreams, and we're doing it today with you guys in the room. So special shout out to our panel. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you.
Black boy, black man, different struggle, the same dance. Growing up, getting knocked down. Black king, but no crown. Black issues, black problems, black situations, no solving. No justice and no peace. Black bloodshed running in these black streets. Black business, black schools, black laws, black rules. Good cops, clean arrest. Bad cops, 7 bullets in his flesh. Black love, black pride. Black fall, now blacks rise. Black bald, there's no work. Black pen, our black earth. Black sales, black worth. Black eyes, black lies. Black skies, black ties. And black rights, and black vibes. This a dedication to people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying positivity and black pride. This a dedication to people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying positivity and black pride. Black allegiance, black flags, black mothers, black dads, black churches, black estates, black community building, erasing all black hate, black footprints, black excellence, black inventions, the reason some tech is relevant, black scholars, black dollars, black dreams like Martin, we need to go and follow. Black and bold, blacks in control, blacks in fashion, blacks clothes, blacks mining, black gold, black entertainment, black shows, blacks passion, black action, blacks love, black satisfaction, black wealth, black health, blacks dealing with the cards in their hands we were dealt, black streams, now black titles, black ownership, no black rivals, black teams, black owned, blacks creating a vision that when they come they own. This a dedication for people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying our positivity and black pride. Pride. I need for you to look deep
inside the black pupils that so comely reside within the inner rings of black kings and queens' eyes. Witness the utmost core of existence betwixt black space, dust, or star lies. Pure passion and determination, we shot ourselves through the vast, only to land on a planet filled with hatred. Went from thick holy robes to soul naked, convinced to act as everything that's unsacred. Awaiting the awakening, it's happening. Now this piece is all for the taking. And listen, trumpets blowing, wind is whistling. Can't you hear it? It sends the shaitan's bones to trembling, saying, get yours, baby bro, get yours. Get yours, little sis, get yours.
This a dedication to people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying positivity and black pride. This a dedication to people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying positivity and black pride. Black allegiance, black flags, black mothers, black dads, black churches, black estates, black community building, erasing all black hate, black footprints, black excellence, black inventions, the reason some tech is relevant, black scholars, black dollars, black dreams like Martin, we need to go and follow.
Nexxlegacy.
Are you searching for the perfect gift? Or do you just need a unique statement piece for yourself? Well, either way, Danaya is your help you out. What you need is the S4S jewelry collection by Danaya Designs for You. S4S stands for strictly for a stage. Stand out at your next photo or video shoot. Snag that magazine cover. Go from being a part-time extra to an actor or actress who stays booked. Or just be the talk of the town at every event. Danaya Designs for You jewelry is handcrafted and Chicago made for men, women, and children. To start your collection, simply go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com.
Nexxlegacy.